Hey folks, and welcome back to Glenn and Adrian's Rock Talk. That's Adrian.
And that's Glenn.
And today we're going to go back about as far as we can possibly go back with The Warning as a band. In fact, they weren't even named The Warning yet when this clip happened. This is their version of God Gave Rock and Roll to You, which they played for a school event. They even had backup singers that were not related to the band. Allie is all of 7 years old at the time of this clip. She soon turned 8. She was very close to her birthday, but she was technically 7, okay? So I figured this would be interesting. I believe they were just labeled Dany, Pau, and Allie. So I thought that would be fun. This was at the school Christmas festival, it turns out. So this, of course, is a cover song, obviously, but it was also made a big hit as a cover song for Kiss in 1991. And Adrian, you mentioned hearing it before.
The original version by Argent. I think it was penned by Russ Ballard, but Argent did the song.
Okay, yeah, and that would have been in the 70s.
Yeah.
So with that, I think we ought to take a look at this just to see what the very beginning looked like. They played their own instruments for a while before they started playing together. So this is the first documented look at them actually out in public playing together. Of course, it's 2012.
Just to put their own spin on it. Some of the lyrics are different from the original.
All right, so maybe we have to see which lyrics they went with here. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's check it out and we'll discuss afterwards.
All righty.
Wow. I have so many things that I noted, but why don't you start, Adrian?
This is pretty impressive. It sounded like they were emulating the Kiss version of the
Okay.
song. Just because the structure of the song and the tune and everything. It's kind of hard to understand the lyrics. So I couldn't really determine from that whether it was the Kiss version or the Argent version, but it looked an awful lot and sounded an awful lot like the Kiss version.
Aside from the band, the penguins rotating in the ornament in back behind the backing vocalists had me in stitches. Allie at 7 years old, unfortunately for the song, but probably nobody cared, it sounded like she was a step up from Dany. So, which makes me believe that they probably rehearsed the song in one key and then were asked to change it, perhaps for the backing vocalists, I don't know. And so she was up, So they were playing it in B, or Dany was, and everybody was singing it in B, but Allie was starting on the C sharp, which is up a whole, that's a step.
Yeah, I thought I noticed something like that.
Yeah. And I mean, come on, she's 7 years old. I mean, what am I going to be critical about that?
Who cares if it's not perfect,
Yeah, I mean, and this song predates all of them. I mean, Dany is 12. At this thing. And the song itself has been around for, 40 years or so at that point. Even Kiss's version was 20 years old. I also noticed Allie was balancing the bass. She had one of her legs up a little bit. So that bass was probably a little bit heavy, for a 7-year-old girl to be holding.
It's the most wee warning I remember ever seeing.
It's about as wee as it gets there, while they're a band. I mean, other than that, she nailed the part. It sounded like she had the part. That's why I'm saying I think they must have changed the key at the last minute or something. I don't know.
Makes sense.
Yeah, because actually there was nothing wrong with her playing. It's just that she was playing in the wrong key. Like I say, she's 7. I'm not getting down on her for being out of, for having the wrong key. It's impressive that she's there at all. Pau is already a monster back there on the drums, just bashing him like crazy and taking control at the end, taking charge. You heard that voice come out of nowhere. Oh, God, gave rock and roll and all that. That was Pau, in case there was any question. So we're already seeing signs of their personalities, very clear signs of what to expect in the future. I mean, that's like the precursor to the Evolve scream right there. Mm-hmm. And then we had Dany, and she had on a headset mic, which is pretty rare. I don't remember ever seeing her with a headset mic. Only time that I know of. And she was doing the main lead vocal, and then, the backing vocalists were back there. And I don't know who they were. Probably other students would be my guess. Quite a moment. And yeah, you have to keep that. I mean, it's a piece of history at this point. Yeah, their very first performance anywhere. It's led them to some pretty amazing places ever since. They've been all over the world now, sharing their music off their 4 albums. All the fans love everything on those 4 records, and why not? They're all, they learned how to write well and perform well and everything. I mean, they've just gone straight up ever since. That is the first and last time I've ever heard Allie have an issue like that. I'm not anticipating seeing another one. In fact, I'll bet you if she sees this video, she'll probably be like, like this. Like, why are you digging this up?
Not an easy song to play. I mean, this is kind of challenging,
It is. There's a lot of chord changes. It's no Louie Louie, that's for sure. But yeah, okay. That was cool. It was fun to see. And, of course, seeing them today, it's just amazing what they've been able to accomplish. That was fun, though. I'm going to categorize that as a fun historical document. And a heart warmer, despite the little issue with the key.
Yeah, they're doing Dynamite now.
Yeah. All right, folks. Well, why don't you let us know if you've seen that clip before, if you're familiar with the song, if you're familiar with the history of the band, if you knew that this was their very first performance, any of those things. If you have any other comments, if you ever noticed that Allie was actually off by a step there, poor thing, or anything like that. Not that it mattered. Yeah, give your thoughts and observations. We'd love to hear them. And if you have other suggestions for us, you can leave those below. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. And if you enjoyed our presentation, please subscribe. All right, thanks so much for joining us today, and we'll catch you on the next one. All right, take care, folks.
See you all later.